Good afternoon. My name is Ed Williams. Me and my wife just moved out here in 2012. We moved up on Radio Road, which crosses Druck Valley Road. Since we've been there, we've noticed that the winters are very bad up there because it's an incline hill, and when it ices, you kind of like slide down there, and the upkeep of that the road, Radio Road, is actually a private road. And since we've moved here in 2012, the maintenance of that road has not been taken care of by the people that live on that road. And the county, Springfield Township, hasn't taken the effort to come up to remove the snow. So periodically, me and my wife is stuck right at the top of the hill. And along with it, there's no lights up there. You have 3 to 4 houses. So what I'm proposing is maybe the county should actually take that road back over. Instead of being a private road, it should be taken over by Springfield Township, so the maintenance of that road can be taken care of. Lights can be placed up there, because right now it's pitch black. When you come down that hill, the crossing of Druck Valley, the people coming over that hill from Druck Valley to Radio Road, you cannot see them at all. Accidents happen over there. I believe y'all had a motion in 2016 that y'all got funding and wanted the speed limit on that road to be decreased because of the accidents on Druck Valley Road, but it never got allocated. So I would like to see if you could see fit to basically look at the possibilities of changing Radio Road into a public road instead of a private road, so it could be maintenance in the wintertime, because there's 6 houses that sits up on that road, and none of us can get out during the wintertime. And then on the regular time, we have to come to a pit stop or even cut over into the lane going opposite the right way to keep from getting hit from people coming over Druck Valley Road.
So when you bought the house there, was there an agreement as to how the road was supposed to be taken care of?
Yes, it was. We go on the assumption, I think my wife, was there agreement? There was an agreement where there should be a funding that would take care of it. Right now we have potholes in the road that nobody's paying for. It hasn't been repaved since we moved there.
But you say it's a private road, right?
Yes.
So do you belong to a homeowners association?
No.
Okay.
There is none. They do not collect for maintenance or any of the above. Oh, my wife.
I've done some research. Yeah, I've done some research into it, and what we have found in looking at the deed to the property is that at one time it appeared as though that the people who lived on the road had an escrow where everyone would put money into it, so in case roads need to be fixed, that could happen. But somewhere along the line, that had stopped before we had moved there, and I think it just had to do with, what the heck, you know what I'm saying? And so since then, there is no escrowed account. I think some of it has to do with some of the individuals who live on the road. I don't know if I'm trying not to say anything disparaging.
They may not have an interest in maintaining the road to the level you would like. Is that fair to say?
And not just the level that we would like, but at a level that's sufficient. Right. Yeah. One of the neighbors on our street managed to get Springettsbury to start moving some of the snow, because it was so funny. They would come up to go where the park was, and they would come up the hill with the blade up, get down to where they would do the snow, and then go back down the road with the blade up again. But he managed to get that changed. I don't know what the remedy is. I don't know whether it is that we have to have a meeting of the minds and have the road made into a public road, or what it is, because there is no association. It's just these six houses, townhomes, on the road, and that's it. We moved up here from Maryland, so there was a lot of surprises when we got here, and so it took us a while to sort of reading all the ordinances in Pennsylvania and Springettsbury to kind of get a feel for, okay, so this is how this works, and well, that's how that works, and so.
How do you get the road plowed in the snow in the winter?
Well, my husband does.
I have a little lawnmower.
So you take care of it?
I put a blade on it, and I try to go down it. And I used to drive a sports car. I learned very fast. Doesn't work out here.
Charlie, if there were I mean, other areas where there's private roads like that, there is something on each deed about them equally owning the road and expected to maintain it. Isn't that typical?
Yes,
That
So-
is-
probably some agreement on record.
It does.
It just looks like it just, nobody is.
Nobody's
Correct, but I think it's.
making it happen.
In your Springfield Township said if they default on that at some point in time, that you could consider making it a public road, or the road could be sold at some point in time where someone can purchase it and maintain it themselves. And that's what I'm looking at right now, because I don't see that the neighbors gathering the money say, hey, we need to pay for this long road, because right now they only gonna do their part.
Have you tried,
Yeah, I've been here since 2012.
but have you tried
Yes.
contacting the neighbors and
Yes.
you can't get,
What we-
even if everybody paid for
What my
theirs-
husband managed to do was, when we got here, was to get the neighbors to kind of get together, and if you could just do this much, and
Sure.
you could just do this much, and you can just do that much.
But now that the road is deteriorating, it's basically, now you're talking about having someone come put a blacktop in. I don't think they wants to fund that much. And the same thing with the ice. So if we have nobody coming all the way up to scrape it, basically, I'm stuck at the top of this hill. And like I said, with the sports car, I was sliding down the hill. And so this year we bought a Jeep. So we're doing a lot better. So, but I wouldn't have any problem with me having it a public road. I don't think anybody else on that road would have a problem either, because right now there is no lights going all the way to the top, and you cannot see anything. To once you go up there, you have a park up there for handicapped kids, and when they try to come up and drop their kids off or pick them up, it's very hard for them to do that, even in the summertime.
Do you want me to explain the catch-22?
Yes.
Yes.
The catch-22 is this. The township will only, we do take over private roads, and that's how we got most of the 100 and some miles of roads we have. You know, a developer comes in and they build their development, and then when they're all done, they give the road to the township, and then we maintain it forever. The catch-22 for you is, in order for us to accept the road, we expect it to be in a certain condition. The standards that we expect the road to be in when we get it is basically it's a good, you know, new road in very good
It's
condition,
not that bad.
built to the standard. That's pretty good. So in order for us to take over the road, which is great for the future, but to get to that point, you'd have to do what it sounds like some pretty significant improvements before we be in a position to take the road over.
Well, is it
So that's
possible
kind of
to
the
take a look
catch-22.
at it and see,
Oh,
is it
absolutely. I
possibility,
mean,
send somebody
Yeah.
up and say, hey, it might be in good enough shape to say, hey, we'll take it.
And there's probably some part of the story that we need to take offline and not have it in
I'm
public
sure,
forum.
absolutely.
Yeah.
I get it. And I'm only one person, but you know, I've just been here for a bit, and then so
I'm just looking at the consideration to take a look at it and possibly say, hey, it might be. But go another winter to slide down that hill and no lights up there, so at nighttime, you don't know what crime is going to start up there because it's pitch black all the way up there. It's appalling.
that's another. I don't know the answer to this. The petition streetlight fund, does that have to be on streets we own? There's a sticky wicket for you.
I would, well, I don't know. I would think so,
Interestingly,
but
Yeah.
I'm not sure about it.
Well, the other situation is you have to work with your neighbors on that too, because your neighbors might want it dark up there because that's why they bought out in the woods.
I could probably get a petition going and say, hey, that light, if somebody could fund the lights for it, because, you know, I think everybody just sitting in their own little world there.
Interestingly enough, when we moved in there was a street light at the top and one at the bottom. And then a year and a half, 2 years
They had
ago,
to remove
the electric company came out and says, oh, we're removing all street lights that we deem don't need to be there because it costs too much to change the light bulb. And I suggested to him, I said, well, how about if we wait until the light bulb goes out? And then we'll call you and then you can come take it out. And so the guy said, okay. And then the next day, I guess he went back and his boss said,
PennDOT took all the
whatever.
lights out.
So they came back and they took the light out and it was gone. But I thought to myself, they said it's too expensive to change the light bulbs when people call, and I said, well then,
That doesn't sound right. I mean,
Well,
I'm not saying you're not
no, yeah.
saying the story right. Something doesn't
Yeah,
sound right.
so, and it didn't make sense to me that they would take it before the light bulb blew out. You know, when I call and say change the light, then you could say, oh, it's too expensive for taking it out of here.
So could we just start with, Jessica and Mark riding down there and taking a look at it and...
I'm fine with that.
Really appreciate it.
We'll take a look. Make sure
Take too much time.
Dory here on the end has your contact information and.
Okay, she doesn't let me talk that long.
I saw that.
I'm,
You sit down.
I'm with you, man.
Is there anyone else who would like to